this video, we can see what is a compiler, interpreter, assembler, and the difference between compiler and interpreter. The compiler is a translator which is used to convert programs in high-level language into low-level language. It translates the entire program and also reports the error in source program encountered during the translation. So here the compiler is a software or program that takes as input the source program that is written in high-level language that is understood by the humans, and it converts into a target program that is understood by the machines. So an interpreter is also a translator that is used to convert the program that is written in high-level language into a low-level language, that is the machine language. Interpreter translates line by line and reports the error once it is encountered during the translation process. The difference between compiler and interpreter is the compiler will take the source program as a whole and convert into object code. In the case of interpreter, it takes line by line the source program and converts into output. So that is the difference between the compiler and interpreter. Assembler is also one of the translator that is used to translate the assembly language code into machine language code. Yeah, the assembler takes as input the assembly language code and then it converts into machine language code. You can see the difference between compiler and interpreter. In the case of compiler, it takes the program as a whole and converts into object code. In the case of interpreter, it takes the program line by line and converts into output. First it takes the first line and converts it into output. Then it takes the second line and then converts into output. In the case of compiler, the execution is faster as the whole program is converted into object code before execution. In the case of interpreter, the execution is slower as it converts line by line. In the case of compiler, it requires more memory to store the intermediate object code that was generated. In the case of interpreter, it requires less memory as it directly generates the output. In the case of compiler, the debugging is hard as the entire program is scanned and all the errors are reported at the same time. In the case of interpreter, debugging is easier as it stops translation when the first error is reported. So C, C++, these are the programming languages that uses compiler, and Python, Basic, Ruby, these are the programming languages that uses interpreters.